7:45, welcome back. Apple has reportedly agreed to settle a $250 million lawsuit over allegations that it failed to meet expectations with its Apple Intelligence features. Consumers claimed that Apple misled them about the capabilities of the AI system, claiming that teased features were not available to them.
The settlement comes just months after Apple began sending out payments after another case found that Siri eavesdropped on iPhone users. We're going to bring in our chief legal analyst, Kali Froats, to talk about this. So is this a pretty clear-cut case of misleading consumers, or is this just saying, hey, you know, we said this, but it wasn't available yet?
It's a little bit of both, and I think I'd even add a third thing on top of that. You mentioned the eavesdropping features with Siri. That was 95 million, right? This is 250 million. So those millions obviously start to add up, but this is one of the most profitable companies on the planet, and so they have it. And then you start to figure out, well, do we want to continue to go and litigate this, or do we just want to get rid of this claim? And so it's a little bit of both. Obviously, with a settlement, you're not going to admit wrongdoing as Apple, so that's the good part of allowing this to be done with. But then the other portion of it is that you don't have to allow the discovery process to go forward, and so then you can start to pull back more layers and figure out, well, okay, actually you have a number of features that you're listing and maybe none of them were working. Those are the types of things that you would kind of advise your client of when you're looking at the risk management of a trial or litigation like this. Is it worth settling, or is this something that we can continue to go forward and fight? But I think if you're looking at the root core of their claims, which is false or misleading, that's the basis of their argument. The standard is pretty straightforward. Did you make a false statement? Was it misleading? Was it material? And did I rely on that material representation? Did I rely on it detrimentally? And did you cause me some damages? Walking through that to answer your first question, it would have been pretty clear. Hey, you advertised these as teases. I saw the advertisement at your big press conference. I went and rushed in line, either online or physical, to get this device, and now I own it, and when I push the button to have it do something, it's not doing it. That easy baseline elementary look of if you meet the standards, it seems to be pretty clear.
A lot of Apple users go and show me the money, right? 250 million is chump change for a company the size of Apple. So how does that break down? Like, how would we as Apple users, how do you know if you fall into this case, and how do you get your money? What is that amount even?
Well, it's between $65 and $95, and it's if you had the 15 and 16 Pro Max, or any of those features. Ironically, I fall into that category.
Of course you do.
I didn't recognize it until I read the story, so I may be following up on my rebate at some point as well.
Okay, what do you see other companies having to do in the future to adjust, especially as more AI technology comes out and, you know, you're promising all these features, but other parts have to move forward, and you might not be there yet?
I think that's going to be harder to figure out from inside the room. It's easy to say, well, wait, you know, but everyone's trying to be the first to introduce, right? You're trying to be cutting edge and ensure that you give your customers access to the newest technology. But as it's evolving every day, and you're saying, okay, this is what we're attempting to do, not just to try to grab people and make them new consumers, but actually allow it to do what it's supposed to do. I mean, it's a mixed bag. As they shift from Siri to this Apple Intelligence, there were a number of things that were missed, and I think it goes back to your first point. This was things that they were saying that, hey, we can do this, and consumers are like, hey, you guys clearly missed the mark.
Marketing companies are smart. They know exactly, there's so much psychology that goes into the way that they can tempt you into buying something. And so maybe going forward, this is products are sold more on their potential more than their performance is what's happening here. And don't you think marketing teams are going to have to be very clever with how they word things so that they aren't sued?
It's also making sure that you're not in silos when you're in those rooms. You'll have your marketing team working with legal and allowing things like that to run by legal. Why? Because it's a thin line between a proposal or an expectation than a guaranteed, hey, this is something that will be there or at least rolled out down the line. They said, hey, you advertised this years ago and it never came out at all. So that's something that marketing would have to be in line with, saying, can we make sure that this is something that we can actually do, not just promise to do, but actually can do.
All right, so if you are part of that class action, go ahead and file a claim.
I'm on my way.
Khalif's gonna go do that right now.
If Khalif's not here next hour, he's online with Apple trying to get his $95. All right, Khalif, thank you very much.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.